What's up, everybody, man? Welcome back to another episode of Band Conversation, man. I'm your host, MTB, Minister T Breeze, man. And today we have a very special guest on the lines with us here today, man. So I want you to do me a favor. I want you to tell everybody that the show is on. Big shout out to the whole fam, everybody rocking with Pillow Talks, iHeartRadio. Tell everybody that the show is on. Get your popcorn ready, get your comfortable space, lay back, get ready, and tell everybody the show is on. We coming right back. I'm gonna play some music real quick, and we're gonna jump right in with our special guest. So tell everybody, Band Conversation. We are here. We back. We ready to rock. We'll be right back after this.
I know you see I'm blessed and I'm highly favored. I'm blessed and I'm highly favored. And you know I'm blessed and I'm highly favored. Blessed and I'm highly favored. Blessed and I'm highly favored. I'm blessed and I'm highly favored. And you know I'm blessed and I'm highly favored. I'm blessed and I'm highly favored. Man, God got his hands on me. Many blessings like the sand on the beach. I'm a man that's gon' preach until the day I vanish. I'm supposed to be on the Joes, I ain't even playing it. But here I go, I'm feeling like mystical. Even though God invisible, I'ma make him visible. It ain't nothing mystical, just observe my walk, observe my talk. And if you heard, I'm the soul of the earth. Cause they ain't got no flavor to it. The reason it's so chaotic, they won't let the Savior do it. But I'ma get out the way, the price of sin I cannot pay. You could be up in the month of April and get shot down by May. I'm blessed and I'm highly favored. I'm blessed and I'm highly favored. And you know I'm blessed and I'm highly favored. Blessed and I'm highly favored. Blessed and I'm highly favored. I'm blessed and I'm highly favored. And you know I'm blessed and I'm highly favored. I'm blessed and I'm highly favored. Man, God got his hands on me. Many blessings like the sand on the beach. And that's a lie. I'ma rep the great I am when I speak, and at the same time, watch me go ham on this beat. I done stripped that dope for the chicken pill. How many times I should've got killed? On Lil Pimp say I thought it was tree. When I smoked that tree, I thought it was heat. I was so empty, I thought it was filled. The light that I lived, I thought it was real. Rapping all them demonic verses out of my mouth, I spoke some curses. But now I'm blessed as Christ is worthy, and he get all the praise. They looking for that old slam, they say this all a fake. But I ain't going back and I ain't looking back either. Blessed and highly favored to be called God people. Blessed and I'm highly favored. I'm blessed and I'm highly favored. And you know I'm blessed and I'm highly favored. Blessed and I'm highly favored. Blessed and I'm highly favored. I'm blessed and I'm highly favored. And you know I'm blessed and I'm highly favored. I'm blessed and I'm highly favored. God got his hands on me. God got his hands on me. God got his hands on me. God got his hands on me.
That's right. We are back. I told you, man, we got a great show for you guys this evening, man. Welcome back, man. Love you guys to life, man. Thank y'all so much for tuning in and rocking with us. But on the lines today, we got Mr. Clayton Savage here with us on the lines right here, Band Conversation. So I'm going to tell you right now, he's getting ready to drop some insight and some jewels on what we got going on in the industry world today. So Mr. Clayton Savage, man, how are you? What's going on, sir?
How you doing, my brother DJ? Good to meet you. Actually, this is the first time we meet, man. It's good to know you, man. I talked to you last night a little bit. Everything is all copacetic, baby. It's all good.
Okay. Well, we glad to have you here on the show, man. So, like I tell you, man, this is Band Conversation. We talk about all the stuff that don't nobody else want to talk about. And what I get from Clayton Savage, that you got some insight for all of our independent artists, for all of our people who are aspiring to be artists, man, even people who just want to be in the know in the music business. So, tell everybody a little bit about your resume. Let them know where you come from and how you come and how we got to this point, so they know we talking to somebody who got some skin in the game.
All right. Well, I'll go back. I'll come from Norfolk, Virginia. That's where I come up from. But I'm like Norfolk to New York. I was a kid musician, performing in the area with like grown-ups. And around 17, 18 years old, I got my first deal with Sugar Hill Records. I became a session musician for them. replacing the house band. There was wood, brass, and steel. Some great, fantastic musicians like Doug Winbush and Keith LeBlanc. They're legendary on endless hip hop tracks, especially back in the '80s. But I also had a producer deal and a writer deal, and I ended up writing roughly half or more and performing on Melly Mel's album um, with my song "We Don't Work for Free." Uh, Joey Robinson Jr., who was the vice president of Sugar Hill, um, told me it would be best if we merged our efforts together, and it turned out to be something fantastic. That was really the beginning. That was really the real beginning of the blend of R&B and hip hop, which I've always believed go together. Had a couple of great mentors, two Sylvias, one Sylvia Robinson and one Sylvia Rome. Um, I ended up being one of probably what you call the sixth member of the Furious Five. I'm a Furious Fiver. I traveled and toured with them. If you want to look up that Melly Mel album, that's the one where We Don't Work for Free on it, 1984. You hear me singing and playing all over that thing. And then I got a solo deal with Capitol Records. Ended up having what would have been a number one on black charts had they had black charts back then with my song Virgin Lover, which
Mhm.
coincidentally you might know Virgin Lover. That you might know that one.
Yeah, we know Version Love.
Oh, there it is. There it is. You know, back in my singing high falsetto days, you know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
So, hey, oh, that's what's up. And you know, and speaking of that track, you know, as I went around the United States and talking to the urban DJs over the years, I came to realize that the impact of that song and that and I got to give the shout out because the DJs really supported me. You
Mhm.
know, we had black radio back then. In Virginia, we had WRAP, Daddy Jack Holmes, and you know, and it was just a whole different vibe at that time. Um, I've done some tracks for a whole lot of people, as a session musician, as a songwriter, like Nia Peebles, and yeah, me and Monty Moore from the time did some things for her, and I've been out there for a while. I know a lot about behind the scenes, and the entire time I've also been an independent musician, recording artist. I mean, I started recording my first album at 15, 16 years old, and that led into everything else that happened. So I've been through the music college, man. I know the ins and outs, the fronts, the backs, the ups and the downs.
Okay, okay. Now, real quick, you said you believe hip hop and R&B go together. Tell me off the top of the head, what's your favorite hip hop and R&B combo? Favorite song ever? Hip hop and R&B blending together. Who is it?
Well, okay. See, my coach ain't on the line with me right now. She'd be pointing to say one of yours, and I'd be like, I'm gonna say it really kicked off with "I Feel for You."
Mm-hmm.
Um, Reggie Griffin, who had been a session musician at Sugar Hill prior to me, and he doesn't get enough credit for this. He's the one who identified that track from Prince's second album,
Mm-hmm.
which and Prince being a huge fan of of Shaka Khan. You know, we as songwriters, especially aspiring songwriters, we write to hopefully shop a song to somebody that we admire and we want to write for. I believe that Prince was doing his Shaka Khan thing when he wrote the track, and Reggie identified that, picked it up, and just moved it right along. Q, that's Quincy Jones, the Quincy Jones, put that track out, but that, in my opinion, really kicked off the merger of R&B and hip hop.
Okay, okay. So now, as a seasoned veteran in the game, you said you've been an independent artist the entire time. So that means you got the ups, the downs, the good and the bad, and you got all the information that new artists coming in might need. Because, like as we talked before, a lot of people come in and think, you know what, I can just do it myself. I'm just gonna jump out here and do this, and I'm gonna blow up overnight. And it just don't happen that way. So, what type of advice would you give, let's say your good, bad, and the ugly, what would you give to the new artist, the artist coming in as an independent artist?
Okay, as a person who was began and still is an independent artist. Here's the skinny. If you could back in the day, if you could afford to record yourself, if you had the means to record yourself and produce a broadcast ready production, broadcast ready, okay, that's a key term, broadcast ready, and a product, produce a product that is ready for mass consumption. There was nothing barring you from doing it, except it was expensive, and of course the knowledge and know-how to do so. Today, if I were to mirror that with today, I'd say, or rather parallel it, I'd say it's the low cost of entry into the recording game is what that was one huge hurdle that was overcome. You could basically just buy a computer and start recording yourself. It don't have to be an expensive computer. You don't need the top-notch gear. If you got talent or something original or some type of original talent, okay, and if you can amass your skills from YouTube. You didn't have helpers like that back in the day. We had books, but mostly we learned from all the veterans. I learned from the veterans like Steve Jerome, Chris Lord Alge, Tom Lord Alge, people like that and more. So when it comes to actually creating or getting your idea recorded, there are no barriers now except yourself. Now, you may not know how to record yourself. And we all, as a producer and speaking for producers, we've all received weak recordings from people that may have good ideas, but they just don't know how to record themselves. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, but the most important thing is that you get your idea down and someone can see where you're going and tell if, maybe it's something that works or doesn't work or something they can work with. Cool. We knocked that barrier down. Mixing and mastering, you can send it off now to people for a fraction of a cost and get your stuff mixed and mastered. Man, you talk about something. We're talking knocking $100,000 down to less than $10,000 at this point to do the whole album. Maybe less than $5,000, depending on who you know and depending on what you know, if you record yourself well enough. When it comes to marketing, here's where the illusion and the problems happen. Folks are being told you don't need a record label, but they're not saying what you don't need a record label for. You still need a record label to be a record label because only they run and control the music business. It's like trying to build your own train. Okay, you can build your own train if you can get all the materials, if you can get the know-how, if you could somehow build your own train. That would be an incredible feat. But whose tracks are you going to put this train on?
Right.
And how are you going to have the right to, transact with people and with commerce? Who's going to trust you to get on your train? Where's the destinations for your train going to be? You see what I'm saying? And if you want to parallel that, we're talking about marketing and demographics. We're talking about distribution, which appears to be accessible by all these days. I mean, there's like 100 different distributors out there that'll do it for you online, and some seemingly at no cost. But truth of the matter is, just like AT&T and Northwest Train Company, these tracks belong to the record industry. So they know how to market, they know where to market, they know how to exact the commerce, especially different commerce around the world. They perfected it. And people basically buy from record labels. The majority of the consumers, no matter how good your mama cooks chicken, they're not coming to your mama's house to buy chicken. Okay, they're gonna go to the stores, the McDonald's, the KFCs, the ones that they know, because that is the habit and practice of the consumer, for better or for worse. So you can produce yourself all the way up to a radio broadcast ready product, a ready for public consumption product, but the expertise to market yourself and to follow up on it still belongs to those who have done it before. Those services, and I'm emphasizing the word services. The record labels also control the touring market. Um, you're just not going to be some guy from that nobody's ever heard of, and suddenly be going through Live Nation. That's just not going to happen. I mean, unless you got a sincere hookup, a cousin, or a parent that you owe a bunch of money and they happen to be in the business and they want to get their money back, you're just not going to be on that. You're just not going to have access to it.
Right.
Just like the train tracks. You can build your train, but you're not going to be able to put your train on the same tracks without some type of deal being done. And there's the word deal. Now that comes. So, with that being said, there are things that record labels are excellent at, and there are things that you just can't get around because you just don't have the manpower to do so.
Awesome, awesome. Now, so see, being that you're a seasoned veteran in the game, like tell us how you go about producing your work, how you go about getting your work out there. So, do you go through any of the online avenues that they have for distribution? Are you strictly a streaming artist? Like, do we have to go online to find music? Are you still kicking it? Old school. I heard somebody say that CDs was coming back. So, like, how do you distribute your work being an independent artist? Do you look for a label to support, or are you doing everything yourself?
Well, even as an independent, I've done things with Universal Music Group. Um, through it, but I work through people I know, through affiliates I know. Um, Again, on the back end, I know people. I know the people who do the services. So what you call is your network. In your network, in my network, um, I have folks like the DJ. The DJ pools are very significant. First off, hats off to the DJs. They make every hit. If you're not working with the DJs, you're not doing anything. You're not going to go anywhere. You're not going to be able to get your reach. Plus, they're the tastemakers. Uh, I think they're a little. I think when it comes to radio DJs, they're less gatekeepers and more like repeaters these days because we've had the synchronization happen with radio. So you can pretty much go from station to station, hear the exact same song and the exact same tone of the DJ. I came up in the Frankie Crocker days and things like that. So, but the power of the DJs is a mass distribution of promotion. If DJs are playing you, you're being promoted. You're being promoted to real people at real time. If your song is making an impact in the clubs, then it's making an impact in the real world. The illusion of the bots that's out here, where you just go and buy a package online and dial up the exact number of hits that you want to get. That's a farce. That's an illusion. That's a lie. That's a misconception. You're not getting real hits, and the companies that are responsible for marketing through streaming to the mass public, like Spotify and YouTube, they know the difference between when someone has robots and when they don't. So stop wasting your money with things like that. Um, Folks that I know, like for example, video promotion, they promote it at live events where there's tens of thousands of people, and then those events rebroadcast on their YouTube pages, their Facebook pages, their audience, which is pretty much how commercial marketing works anyway. And that's how you reach um, tens of millions, if not tens of millions. Well, let's just say hundreds of thousands to 10 million folks. It takes maybe 9 months, maybe 18 months. It takes as long as it takes to permeate that, to build that audience. But I just use people that I know.
All right. So then networking is a very big part of being an independent artist, as you mentioned, the DJs, right? So getting in touch with the DJs, eventually that'll evolve over to meeting other areas of networking. So for, like I say, the independent artists that's doing it themselves, it sounds like you're saying, you got to get out here and still do the work. Old school, we used to get out and, you had the CDs at the car wash, at the gas station, and, you had to get out there. That was how we networked. So in this day and age with internet, right? So we have to still continue to network. I know it's real big with social media, real big with those other outlets you mentioned, YouTube, places like that. So what's a great way for an artist to get into the circles, the networks, right? Do they just reach out to the DJs? Do they go to events? Like, in your opinion, what would you say would be the great way to start networking?
Oh, well, I'll give you a couple of DJ pools I use. 704 DJs,
Uh-huh.
Carolina DJs, Rebel 107, Dizzy D and the boys. You know, they're seasoned pros at this. Just reach out to them, send them your track. DJs are amenable to new tracks and they love breaking hits. That's what DJs do, break hits. They're record breakers. You need your record to break. You break into this industry. You don't just slide into this industry.
Right.
Chances are these pools also are having events. Go to the events, meet the DJs, shake hands with them. See what's going on. It's immeasurable what can come from that. It's immeasurable. They put a face with the record, plus have the right personality, because no matter how great your song is, if you got a crappy personality, nobody wants to play it. And a side note, make sure you got a clean version. I mean, if you really want to have mass appeal, don't fall for the okie doke that's happening on Sirius XM, where you just listen to the cussing versions of everything all day long. If all you're doing is cussing on your music, you're not going to go very far. You're going to need a clean version of something. And it's going to need to make sense. If you listen to how Puffy and Big did back in the day, and just about everybody else from LL, it doesn't matter who it is, they got a clean version of everything that you've ever heard. That's the actual hit. And then there's the turned up version where it's raw, and that's what people, who want to be risque or consider themselves on the edge. Or as the Californians say, whatever. If that's what you want to do, you can take that. You can listen to that. You can't even blast it going down the street, and you're embarrassed to play it around your mama and grandmama.
Right.
You pull up next to the police, you're gonna get cited. I mean, hey, look, I'm in favor of a colorful metaphor just as much as the next. That's that's the professional way to say cursing. But make it make sense if you're cussing. Don't just cuss for the sake of cussing, man. And I know we're gonna get into that a little later about today's music. And I seem to be sliding into it right now. So I'm gonna pause for a second, let you do your thing.
Okay. Well, we're gonna take a little quick break. We're gonna drop maybe some music, some today's music, maybe some old school. We don't know what we're gonna do. We're gonna drop a little music, and then we're gonna come right back. We're talking today with Mr. Clayton Savage, giving us these insights, these ins and outs about his seasoned game in the professional music business. So y'all hold tight. We coming right back. This is Band Conversation. I'm your host, MTB. Y'all hold on. We coming right back.
I gotta have this one made up.
ATL with another.
It's hitting different all the way, you know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah! I don't care what you thought, I don't care what you say. It hit different when you know you say. I don't care what you thought, I don't care what you say. It hit different when you know you say. It hit different, it hit different, it hit different, 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 it hit. It hit different, it hit different, it hit a little bit different, especially when you say, but you got killer instinct. With a little bit of Mike Tyson and a little bit of Incredible Hulk, that's sick. Or like when super thick walk in the room and you're like, oh God, what a hit. Or like when you get busted in the head by big break, cause you ain't paying attention. Then that hit a little different, don't that feel a little different? For the good, I'm different, so why you acting different? It's because I got deliverance from the magnificent, now I got benefits. Hit a little different, don't it? And that's why you hating, homie. I don't care what you thought, I don't care what you say. It hit different when you know you say. I don't care what you thought, I don't care what you say. It hit different when you know you say. It hit different, it hit different, it hit different, different, it hit different, it hit different, it hit different,
I'm the hope, but today I'm just David Banner. I'm too legit with a Falcons jersey, man, I'm MC Hammer. 12 watching me, got me on they body camera. But I'm watching them and got my phone on panorama. I be everywhere, I mean everywhere. I got work to do, I'm never cover in my pastor chair. I shame the devil like somebody seen his underwear. Covered in the blood like Under Armour, got endorsements there. They don't like my music, what they talking about? I'm not lyrical enough, they say I'm too south. It's that southern slang that helped the gospel come out. And I don't care what they say, I keep his praises all in my mouth.
I don't care what you thought, I don't care what you say. It hit different when you know you say. I don't care what you thought, I don't care what you say. It hit different when you know you say. It hit different, it hit different, it hit different, different, it hit different, it hit different, it hit different, different. Know you say.
Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back to Band Conversation. I'm your host, MTB, Minister T Breeze. Man, we are here on Band Conversation talking to Mr. Clayton Savage, giving us the ins and outs of the music business, man, from an independent artist perspective, man. So for all my independent artists out there, man, we dropping jewels today. We giving y'all nuggets on how to get this thing done in the business. So, Mr. Savage, I want to ask you a question, man. Today's state of hip hop, right? We got a lot of diss tracks dropping here recently, like in the last few weeks. I know we got Kendrick Lamar did a diss record, J. Cole did a diss record, Drake got a diss record, Chris Brown of all people got a diss record, Quavo got a diss record. So it's always kind of been a part of the hip hop culture to have beef, within the music. So tell me how you feel about today's version of hip hop and the diss tracks and just the state of hip hop as a whole. How you feel about it?
Okay, so first off, I'm a KRS-One fan. The bridge is over. The bridge is over.
Right, right.
We're gonna talk about diss tracks. You want to talk about the beef between Nas and Jay-Z? I got a call this morning from D, that's my executive assistant, about the Chris Brown joint, and I ain't fired it up yet, but I'm just reading some of the lyrics. I'm like, wow.
Right.
Beef battles on tracks is a staple and a rite of passage. If that's how you want to express yourself, or that's how you want to get it off. Also, it don't kill nobody. I'm for it. I mean, if that's, if somebody didn't trespass you for real, and you need to get it out, that's an avenue that's available to you in this game. Go on, hit them with it. If you can hit them with it. If you got a reason to hit them, of course, anything can be abused and misused. Sometimes they just trying to attack Eminem. They're gonna get served if they attack that boy. He's a Swiss Swiss Army knife of a weapon. But I appreciate it. Was Kendrick that apologized, correct? Was it Kendrick that apologized?
J. Cole.
J. Cole apologized to Kendrick, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was a manly move. Sometimes you're just wrong. And sometimes people just saying stuff just to get the glory. Like I said, if there's something that you need to get off your chest, okay, I'm old school, right? Like this. If I got a problem with somebody, I'm gonna say it to them directly. I ain't gonna make no track about it. I'm gonna call them up on the phone, and we're gonna hash it out. Ain't gonna be no guns. It's just what kind of beef can I really have with you? I don't know exactly what kind of beef Chris Brown could possibly have with anybody because he's had a golden career. The Migos are doing great. So, don't fall into the marketing aspect of this all too. Don't ever forget that this is Hollywood, and beef sells. Beef sells in the supermarket and beef sells in the recording market. So who knows why they're doing something or who put them up to something. That the whole East Coast versus West Coast thing still blows my mind when I can't figure out exactly what was the beef that was going on there when the West Coast was influenced by the East Coast and the East Coast needed the West Coast to cross over to the next level. And look at it now. There's no coast. So, down to the individual level, like I said, I come from an era where if I had a problem with somebody, you didn't know about it. It was between me and that person. But this is the safe arena for it. They going for it. So we'll see. you know, we'll see. We'll see how it all turns out. As long as it stays on the tracks, on the records, because all these boys gonna end up in tour. There's only one music business, you know.
Mhm.
You either in it or you're not in it. There's a parallel music business with your band instruments and your local music store, not your record store, miss the record stores. A
Mhm.
couple of them are still out there. I see CDs are kind of trying to make a comeback. I've had a couple of pulls. Bill Ricketts in particular, he still likes to receive music on the CD.
Mhm.
Um, I don't mind dropping the record pool's name. Star Trek, that's one of my favorite pools too. Ronnie, Captain Ronnie, man, we go way back. That's a good friend of mine. Star Trek record pool, good one. But what's if it's just a promotional beef, and it's entertaining, because this is all again supposed to be entertainment. So if it's entertaining, I'm down for it. If we're gonna get into some Biggie and Pac stuff, I'm not down for it. You know,
Mhm.
them brothers should have lived as long a lives as they could have. I know fate and destiny works the way it is. That's that. That's a wrap. If we can learn something from it, let's learn something from it, and just keep it on the records, keep it on the tracks, keep laughing, keep making money, keep giggling.
Oh yeah. So yeah, as long as they're keeping it, like you say, for the entertainment purposes, because a lot of artists, especially rappers, their careers, uh, either they exploded or they dwindled based on how you handle the rap beef. So depending on what your skill level like, that could be the thing that catapults your career, or it could be the thing that stalls your career. So it's kind of like somebody calling you to the carpet, like let's see what you really got in your bag. Let's see how you really handle yourself. It's one thing to make the studio songs, I'm gonna say, but it's another thing, MCing. We did battle raps and things like that. We did ciphers. That really told the story of where your skill level was.
Mm-hmm. That's the battlefield, though. You know what I'm saying? Don't get it twisted. The art of making a record is just that. It's an art. It's a professional skill level, and no matter and the more and the easier it comes off, like when you hear Nicki and Cardi and them go at it, the easier it comes off. It's just like watching Jordan fly across the court. You know what I'm saying? It's just watching any of these pros out. A professional is a professional for a reason. They're gonna always be be at a skill level that makes it look so simple that it can be attained by simply mimicking them. And that's one of the issues we have out here now with the ease of recording. We have a lot of mimicry. With the advent of YouTube, is for all intents and purposes, you got people out here selling our music back to ourselves, man, in these skills packs. They're taking our chords and what we've done and selling it back to guys. There's nothing that you can't put your fingers on and do yourself, that you should do yourself. Whatever you're doing, it should come from you. I mean, yeah, maybe you might buy a sample pack and you got the sounds, but I mean, this is why all the music sounds exactly the same, and particularly on the hip hop side. And then once the major marketers get a hold of a trend like trap, now you got trap um, sound packs, and anytime someone uses one of those sounds, you'll see that the PR folks will claim that it's got a trap background just for using that snare or using that kick drum, and that's not true. Black
Mhm.
music is black music. It's very distinguishable, and I wish that we would respect it the way the Chinese respect their martial arts. No matter how great Michael J. White or Chuck Norris might be, they're never going to be as revered as Bruce Lee, because
Mhm.
he is of the culture. So Eminem is great. He is a part of the culture, but he is not of the culture.
Mhm.
And that's the difference. I'm not taking nothing away from him. And his respect for those who came before him speaks volumes. He's a respectful young man. And the way he conducts himself, and he's opened doors for a lot of people, whether they know it or not, because this is all one business. I just wish black folks understood what we really have collectively, respected it as the art and craft that it is, and and treated it as such. You know, I mean, there's authentic. You know, I mean, in China, everything is Chinese food. But would you really want to go to a Chinese restaurant and you see me and J Bone in there cooking?
Right.
You know, would you feel like you was at a Chinese restaurant? Me and my
Mm-hmm.
dudes is sitting up in there in the kitchen. It would never feel authentic to you, and
Right.
that's what's happening right now. Now, I'm not saying soulful. Soulful crosses. See, music is colorblind first off, and the soulful part of it. That's why we was able to get such a harmony before, like a smorgasbord of great gumbo. You know, with the Hall of Notes, the Players, the Bobby McFerrins, you know, Phil Collins, because we all speak that language of music. Same with DJs. DJs have played all types of music. People love to pigeonhole and think that, oh yeah, you're a hip hop DJ. No such thing. I mean, I produce music of any type that needs to be produced. Either you're a producer or you're not. You know, songwriter or you're not.
Right.
Engineer or you're not. But just to conclude with that, man. I mean, I think there's TV beef, there's studio beef. You know, real beef is real violent and needs to stay away from our craft. We need to keep that crap as far away from our craft as possible. I don't know how many times in the last 24 months I turned on the internet and some rapper I never heard of was murdered. It never even got off the ground. And then I've got a track um, called Fake Ones. It's kind of an ode to Pop Smoke. I'll send that to you in a later time. But I'm devastated by it, how that young man's career was shining so brightly, and he got murdered. You know, on the okie
Mm-hmm.
doke, on the okie doke. You know, y'all don't need to shine. Look, all this jewelry and stuff is nice, man, but for real, y'all look like Liz Taylor out here.
So you're doing too much.
You're doing too much. I mean, get on the mic, do your thing. You know, do your thing. Be good at what you do, and try to be great at what you do. It's a lifelong journey. It's not an overnight thing. One of my favorite new producers is Metro Boomin. You know,
Mm-hmm.
my man he had a taste of success, and I can tell you from the regular world to the world that he's in, it was demonstrably different. It was miles apart. You know, the kind of money he's had and success he's had, and then he was talking about retiring. I'm like, man, you're in your early 20s. You talking about
Mm-hmm.
retiring? You need to go look up the history of Quincy Jones. I'll hold him against anybody. You know, Kanye produces okay. We're talking about multiple decades, man. Multiple
Mm-hmm.
decades of number one hits. What, going back to what? I don't even know, the 50s, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't get me started. And live production, you know, orchestrating. Just they got to do their homework, and we got to stop abandoning the youth. The youth and the mature artists of hip hop need to come together so that the wisdom gets into the youth, so they understand how the game is really played. Because the masters of this, and I'm gonna say that's the record labels and the distribution companies and the booking agencies like Live Nation, aka Track Ticket Masters, you know, aka something Cloud. I can't even remember what they used to be called, but they don't want you to know. They don't want you to know your worth. And you're worth a lot more than you realize. There's 161 countries, maybe 162. Well, we might have lost that one with the bombing going on right now. They might not be listening to the tracks. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say 160 countries out there that your music is in when you release it. That's 160 countries. So if you want to be an independent artist, how are you going to distribute and get your money recover, you know, your royalties from 160 countries? That's going to be impossible, you know. That's why when someone is saying, "Oh, I can promote you everywhere and we can release your record everywhere," you're about to get got, man, because you got no control over your merch, what you just released.
Right.
There it is.
Okay. So tell everybody about Clayton Savage. Tell us about your music. Tell us where we can find you, where we can hear you, how we can get in touch with you, because we talk about that network. So, for people who want to network with Clayton Savage and get to know you, tell us how we can find you.
Well, you can find my music where you find everybody else's music. YouTube, Apple, wherever you listen to your fine music. There's albums that I've been dropping for years, and I'm still making tracks. I just released an album last year called Legion that I had mentioned, the aforementioned song, Fake Ones, and I've got a song called 7 Long Days. I'm re-releasing, remixing, and I'm moving forward with my man HD. That's Mr. Beats. That's Mr. 704. He got so many names. I don't even know what's the main one he wants to be called by. But we're cats that's been in the background, from the Little John independent days and things like that. A lot of independent labels that are part of the legacy and the history of this, that have made a lot of the folks like the Rick Rosses and the Ludacris's. We just back here doing our thing. So we're gonna be dropping 20 to 30 tracks over the next 12 months on you. Um, but if you want to get to know me, and you'll find out the various music that I have, just if you got YouTube, if you got Apple Music, just put Clayton Savage in it. See what pops up. You'll be surprised. Same with Apple Music. Well, I guess I just said that. Apple Music. Same with YouTube Music. If you want to reach out to me, um, you can reach out to D at Red K Records. That's RED letter K Records.com. That's all one word. D is DEE at redkrecords.com. That's my EA. She can help you get to anywhere you're trying to go. She'll get any message to me. She can help. If you're trying to promote a video, or you trying to figure out this distribution game, if you're trying to get your stuff mixed or mastered properly, I really don't. I don't touch too much of the production unless it's something specific. Because if you're asking me and my folks to do something, then you're really asking for us to put our touch on it.
Mhm.
And give you the same quality that Lil Johns or the Rick Rosses, or anybody else. That's what happens at that level of the game. The engineers are actually co-producers of every track. They didn't get proper respect over the years, if you ask me. But without those engineers, your track would never have sounded the way that it does. And that's why I think a lot of them turned into producers, when they left the DJ game, or but yep. You can reach me. You can hit me directly on Instagram or Facebook at the Clayton Savage. One word, the Clayton Savage. Try it. Just try it. It might pop up on Twitter, or what's called now, Thread, or
Hey,
X. It's just X
yeah.
or something, right?
Right.
Lord. But if I could just say, just don't fall for the bot game. Don't feel like you're doing something because you done got some money, and don't fall for the low hanging fruit. Real success is not found at low hanging fruit. If you could put your hands directly on it, beyond maybe recording your idea, you know, if you could put your hands on it, then you're touching low hanging fruit. Okay. And I'm not saying it's insignificant what you can do in your bedroom. I'm simply saying that's not how the music business works. There's thousands of people responsible for every hit that you've ever heard. You just don't know their names. But that's what happens. And it's thousands of people, thousands of DJs, thousands of music marketers, thousands of people responsible for it.
All right. So listen, man, y'all getting first-hand knowledge from Mr. Clayton Savage, man. So listen, big shout out to all the DJs. Let me shout out my DJ, man, DJ Bliss, who rocks with us right here on Pillow Talk, man. Shout out to everybody behind the scenes, producers, engineers, everybody that be working the live shows, man. Everybody, like I said, those people who really don't get the credit and the respect that they deserve, man. So shout out to everybody working hard, helping to make this music thing jump. So listen, what we got here today, I'm just gonna give y'all what I got from this, man. I got that, as independent artists, we got a network. We got to get out there. We got to meet people. We got to get to know people. We got to get to know all these people who usually don't be out here in the spotlight. We got to know everybody. We got to make sure that we put the best foot forward. We got to put our best projects, our best work forward, and we got to do it correctly, like my man Mr. Savage just said. We got to do it correctly, man. So there's definitely a need for this type of knowledge, brother. I thank you for coming through and sharing this with us here on Band Conversation, because this is the type of thing that a lot of people don't know. So it's a lot of artists out there whose mind has probably just been blowed from this interview, because we don't hear this on a regular basis. We hear the success stories over like social media. Like, man, I blew up overnight off TikTok. Okay, but it was a lot that went into that you didn't share on TikTok. So we don't we don't know. So we got to get the ins and outs, man. So I thank you, brother, for sharing this information with us. One more time, tell everybody where they can reach you, your social media handles, email, or how can they get in touch with you one more time.
All right. Thank you, DJ MTB, man. You right on it, brother. If I had to just plug one last thing, when y'all meet a veteran out there, just listen to him. If they're gonna talk to you, he or she's gonna talk to you. Everything coming out their mouth is a jewel, just like everything coming out this man's mouth is a jewel. Pay attention, ask questions. We know the difference when you don't. They can reach me at my executive assistant DEE at Red K Records. That's one word, REDK. That's letter K. Records.com. Y'all can find me somewhere on social media at the Clayton Savage. Pick your favorite two. I'm not all over the place. You can hit me on Facebook, or you can hit me on Instagram. You can go to YouTube, put in Clayton Savage, or you can go to your favorite streaming service and put in Clayton Savage and just get to know me. Just get to know me. I've been around for a minute,
That's what's up. Now, listen, man, y'all got this knowledge, man. We only got a 30-minute show, man. So, man, I know it's so much more depth into these conversations, man. So, listen, we may call you back, bro. We might need you to come back and do a part 2, 3, 4. We need this knowledge, man, because independent artists are in rapid numbers now. Everybody's pretty much doing the independent route. And there are steps, there are levels to get from independent to get to the labels, to get to radio, to get to doing shows and all these things. So we're gonna need that knowledge. So we probably be calling you back and having you back here on the show to drop knowledge, man, for our independent artists. Listen, this is MTB, man, Minister T Breeze, man. I thank y'all one more time rocking with us here on Band Conversation. Remember, we are here every Sunday on Pillar Talks, iHeartRadio, but I'm here every fourth Sunday with Band Conversation. Shout out to the whole team, DJ Bless, Catrice Wright, Mr. D, Coach T, and everybody else that rock with us here. Until next time, man, y'all be blessed. Have a great, wonderful day, night, whatever time you're hearing this. And we're going to get at y'all later. One more time for my homie, Clayton Savage, right here on Band Conversation. Y'all have a great, wonderful evening, man, and be blessed. We are out.